D-Brigade. In today's Meta Monday episode, I know I still have Gabumon to go over, but I'm going to wait a bit longer with so many variants out there. Instead, I want to focus on D-Brigade. D-Brigade was first introduced in BT3 as a cheap 2-cost body to play, but did not receive more support until BT4 and the Black Machine structure deck. With the drop of the Ulforce Digimon starter deck weeks ago, D-Brigade got some great support. As always, I'll go over the card by card, the strengths, and the weaknesses. Let's begin. This deck runs 5 level 2s, 20 level 3s, 15 level 4s, 4 level 6s, 2 level 7s, 5 option cards, and 4 Tamers. For level 2s, this deck runs 1 Missimon and 4 Pagumon from BT6. Whether you choose to run 4 eggs or 5 for this deck is up to you. The majority of the decks I'll showcase will always have 5 eggs, mainly because many decks like Security Control or 3 Musketeers can make the game go long, and that 5th egg is a free Evo. Missimon provides you a plus 1000 DP buff when it comes to your D-Brigade Digimon, because all of your level 3s that are black are Commandermon. This fulfills the requirement very easily. But your best egg for the deck is Pagumon from Double Diamond, a Digimon with the inheritable of, on deletion, reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a black Digimon, add it to your hand. This deck has a total of 19 targets that can whiff on this effect, but the risk is so worth it. If Izzy Azumi is played the turn before, you can sequence your cards to guarantee the card draw to hand. And remember, you choose the sequencing effects when your Commandermon, especially BT4 Commandermon, is deleted. Substitutions here could be replacing Missimon with Sumemon from BT2 for the plus 2000 DP buff, but this effect is dependent on having a second body out for it to work. If your opponent is counter-choking you, this baby isn't as effective. For level 3s, this deck runs 4 BT3 Commandermon, 4 BT4 Commandermon, 4 BT5 Commandermon, 4 Starter Deck Commandermon, and 4 Dracomon. BT3 Commandermon is your cheap on-play body that helps choke your opponent on memory, while BT4 Commandermon helps with recruiting more Commandermons from the top 3 cards. Security Control? Don't matter if you flip more Commandermons to go into security. Sequencing your attacks for maximum value is highly recommended. Against control decks, I probably swing BT4 Commandermon into the security last, since his effect will yield you a replacement body versus BT3 and BT4. Advantages of BT4 and BT5 Commandermon are their play cost, which dodges Ultimate Flare, while BT5 Commandermon has a big beefy body. The last level 3 in this lineup is Dracomon, a separate recruiter that adds any Digimon with Dramon in its name. A great way to search for Dark Dramon, who is your finisher. For level 4s, this deck runs 4 Tankmon, 4 Seals Dramon, 3 Dark Tyrannomon, and 4 Blue Starter Core Dramon. Tankmon is your 1-cost evolution, while Seals Dramon is your mandatory Dramon Digimon that can be searched and is a blocker that dodges Bao Huckmon's inheritable effect. For my specific build, I prefer Dark Tyrannomon because this is a non-D-Brigade target that doesn't necessarily have to get shipped back to the top if I go into Dark Dramon, allowing for Zwart to have targets in the trash. Last but not least, there's Blue Starter Deck Core Dramon. This Digimon has a nice security effect of playing itself and drawing me 2 cards for digging deeper into the deck for outs. There are a wide variety of substitutes for your level 4s, including the following cards. Nannymon, another security Digimon that can play itself when it's checked in the security and can simply Evo on top of your Commandermon for a Digivolution cost of 2. The advantage is popping extra bodies from security being potentially 8 targets, while the disadvantage would be having a very weak Digimon that dies to about anything in security. But it serves its purpose, does it not? Mechanorimon for the extra defense and facing off against rookie heavy decks like Agumon and Gabumon. While advantageous against said rookies, Mechanori is also easily eliminated by Agumon and Gabumon itself. And Guardramon, a bigger Mechanorimon that can block 1 Digimon. While bigger, it does not have Mechanori's capability to block 2 potential attacks. I went with Dark Tyrannomon ultimately because I like the 1-cost Evo choke. And for this build, I also incorporated Omnimon Zwart for potential blocker revival if needed. although there are substitutes in the level 7 category as well. This deck does not run any level 5s, although you could experiment with Tankdramon as a possible option. Personally, I feel Tankdramon is too slow and eats up too much memory in a very fast and aggressive format already. For level 6s, this deck simply runs 4 copies of Darkdramon, a finisher that can play itself for 13 memory, then targets 5 Digimon with D-Brigade in their types, and puts them back on top of the deck to gain 2 memory for each one. The only caveat is, if your opponent has a memory blocker, it doesn't work. But if it does, you have Rush that can go for gang. This is my only viable target to Digivolve to level 7 with. For level 7s, this deck runs a simple 2 copies of Omnimon Zwart. Omnimon Zwart trashes the top 3 cards of my deck, then can play 2 Digimon with play cost 8 or less to the field. In terms of manipulation, you can play Darkdramon, then return 5 Digimon with D-Brigade to the top. If you stack the Steel's Dramon to the top, this will allow you to play Omnimon Zwart after the attack to bring back double blockers for protection on your turn. Other substitutions for this deck would be Omnimon Zwart Defeat. Defeat is a level 7 Digimon that can play itself from the security and can delete any Digimon on the field when it's deleted. The advantage of Zwart is that the security battle is conducted, which can take out Digimon like Gabubon and other threats that might not necessarily have buffs like Jesmon. Unfortunately, if Agumon trashes Zwart, this makes this point mute. The other advantage for Zwart Defeat is that it is Tamer Destruction, which can prevent one of the best Tamers from slowing you down. For option cards, this deck currently uses 3 Ultimate Flare and 2 Iron Fisted Onslaught. Ultimate Flare hits a lot of Digimon in the format, and unless a delicate plan is in play, Ultimate Flare can render Jesmon, Gabubon, and potentially Agumon Bond boards deleted. The disadvantage of Ultimate Flare is that it is a fairly dead card against security control and 3 Musketeers. Iron Fisted Onslaught is great in that it deletes all your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. Again, Black finally getting some good removal here. Depending on how your meta is, I suggest trading up to 4 Iron Fisted Onslaught if your meta is dominated by security control and 3 Musketeers. Ultimate Flare is safe for more aggressive decks. Lastly, Tamers in the form of Izzy Azumi from Great Legends and 3 copies of Izzy Azumi and Joe Kido from Double Diamond. Izzy Azumi from Great Legends helps enable you to check the top 3 cards and rearrange them into a specific order you choose. This can be potentially helpful if you're digivolving first the next turn to cycle the correct Commandramon out. Izzy and Joe Kido help with drawing a card from the deck if one of your black Digimon is deleted. And the best part? You get 2 extra memory if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon. Against any other deck that's not red, other colors tend to put multiple bodies out. This is arguably one of the best Tamers of Double Diamond. So far, I am loving the ratio of Tamers they have right now, and I don't have any suggestions for changes. And that's it! This concludes D-Brigade for the current BT6 Double Diamond meta. The deck is an aggro deck that has powerful engines to draw cards. And even though your Digimon might get deleted by security effects, your Commandramon have some built-in resistance to combat this. Starter deck Commandramon, for example, dodges Ultimate Flare and Geo Greymon. BT5 Commandramon dodges Ultimate Flare, and BT4 Commandramon replaces itself. Even if they get deleted, this just ensures that you have more fodder for Darkdramon to make an appearance. Its only underlying weakness that I've been able to find is Takumi Aiba in conjunction with blockers. Takumi Aiba is the bane of most Rookie Rush type decks. And with blockers, you have to find the right sequence of events to minimize your loss while also taking out their blockers. What do you think of D-Brigade with the addition of Ulforce starter deck cards? Let me know in the comments below. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.